Oh! Oh no. Oh no. Can't get rid of the plant, can ya? Hi guys, welcome back. So today's video is going to be about student accounts, opening a student account, and what an overdraft means. Not a lot of students know what it actually is. So I thought, let me do a video about what a student account is, how to open one up, and the risks of it, really. So let's talk about that. But a student account is basically a current account, but the main banks do it. So you've got Barclays, you've got Santander, I'm not too sure about Lloyds actually, Halifax, Nationwide, NatWest. So all these banks offer student accounts. What a student account allows students to do is to get a free overdraft limit on their account. Now this varies between banks, it's not the same for every bank, so you want to do your research on where to go and what offers are available. They always usually offer you additional things like discounts and all these other bribes to get you involved. If you don't need that overdraft facility, then you don't actually need a student account. If you bank with a big bank or a well-recognized bank, such as the ones that I've previously mentioned, then you can actually just go and ask to upgrade your current account into a student account, which just means that they change the product and you kind of get your entitlement. What you will need to bring with you to open a student account, so you will need to go into a bank to do that, and what you will need is to bring your proof of what's the word, studentness. You need to bring proof that you're a student, and no, an ID badge doesn't actually count. You need to bring either your letter from UCAS confirming your acceptance to uni, you'd need to bring your student finance letter, and that does have to be, in most cases, print it out and bring it to the appointment. Do just let you log in on your phone and show them, but I'd say for your safety, don't be that person that comes unprepared. Now I want to talk about the risks of a student account. Student account means overdraft, a big overdraft. And how I'm going to explain an overdraft is going to be by the following clip. So yeah, this should make sense.
So let's use this box to represent your current account. You have money coming in and you have money going out. When you have no more money in the account, you're not able to spend. Simple. Now let's say you apply an overdraft to your account. Look at it as an arranged fund limit that you can borrow should you run out of money but urgently need to pay for something. Pay close attention to the minus sign, as spending within this limit takes your balance into a negative sum, meaning that when you spend, you are considered overdrawn. The most important part to understand here is that next time money goes into your account, it will pay the overdraft off first. It's just how it works. For example, you get £1,000 a month income and you have an overdraft limit of £500. Let's say this month you use £300 of your overdraft. How much will you receive in your current account the next payday? So, if you receive £1,000 and are overdrawn by £300, by the end of the month, on your next payday, even though you still get paid the same amount, this income will first automatically pay back your overdraft, leaving you with £700 in your current account.
So yeah, hopefully you kind of understand how overdrafts work, and you can see how dangerous it can be if you were to get into an overdraft of about £2,000–3,000. What I would say, what I'd recommend to my fellow students is, if you want a student overdraft account, then get it for like the minimum amount. So get it for 500, or you know, something small, because if you were to go and get an overdraft for something ridiculous, then you could get yourself in a lot of trouble. And the rule I live by, and that I want you guys to try and embed in your mindset, is do not get an overdraft account if you do not have a job. There's so many students that will open these student accounts without income coming in other than their student finance, and then what you find is at the end of the 3 years you are stuck in this overdraft. Not only do you not have money, you're in a minus, and that's the position you do not want to be in. Be careful of going into that overdraft, and be careful of, you know, it's almost impossible. Once you're in it, it's almost impossible to get back out, and it's almost impossible to not have to rely on it anymore, because that makes part of your allowances, if that makes sense. So it is a really, really easy trap to fall in. So what is the main purpose of a student overdraft? I haven't actually touched on that yet. So the main purpose of a student overdraft, and the reason why this product has been created for students, is mainly for your student finance. A lot of people watching this have probably been in the situation where you start uni but your student loan hasn't come yet. So you've got to move out but your student loan hasn't dropped yet. So you're kind of just in this limbo, like what to do. And you don't have money, and freshers is happening, and you're like, where's my student loan? It's coming in a week or in 2 weeks, etc, etc. So in a way, a student loan is really good if used in the right way. So the reason it was created is to kind of be that backup for if your student finance didn't come in time, which is why the overdraft is so big. Its thing is to pay off things like rent, to pay things like, you know, for maintenance if your student loan didn't come in time. So let's put a situation, let's put it into perspective. Say I go to uni and I start on the 1st of September, right? But my, and let's say it is where I went. Let's say it's at the University of Northampton. So Northampton is quite away from me. It's not, you know, something that I can commute. So I move into the University of Northampton on the 1st of September. I'm by myself, and I still have to get all my stuff prepared. I have to, you know, pay for the rent. I have to do all sorts of stuff to get myself ready for education. But I have not been paid my student finance for whatever reason, whether it was delayed, whether more information was needed. They're giving me, let's say they're giving me the 15th of September as when I'll get that overdraft. When I'll get that student finance. So that's exactly why a student account was created. If I had a student account, I'll have some money in an overdraft limit, which I can use up until the time that I get paid my student finance. Whether it be rent, whether it be I need to go get some food, whether it be I need to go get my books and stuff, memberships, whatever I need to do, I can use that overdraft in the meantime, with the idea that when the student finance comes back in, it pays the overdraft off and I still have funds left over. That's the initial idea of it. And you really need to understand how an overdraft works before you go and take one out. They give you these terms and conditions and things to back themselves up. So you signing your life away and then realising you're in God knows how much debt by the end of it isn't looking really good. Make sure that at least you know what you're signing up for. And no, it is not compulsory. You do not have to, compulsory, is that the word, or mandatory? You do not have to have a student account to go to uni. You do not. You can carry on with your current account. You can open up a student account as a separate way to receive funds, but you do not have to have that overdraft on it. If you go to a bank or whatever and they tell you you have to have that overdraft, then there's plenty of banks where you do not have to have that overdraft applied to your student account. You can open your student account at any time. It doesn't have to be before you start uni, it doesn't have to be at the end. You can open it up wherever you see fit in those 3 years, 4 years, however long you're a student for. It is limited, so if you're doing an apprenticeship, for example, you can't get a student account. You don't open a student account if you're in sixth form. You can only open a student account if you are a uni student in full-time education, and if you're going to be studying for a minimum of 2 years. There are other minor courses that are probably eligible for it, but the main reason for a student account is if you're going to university. Okay, so that's it from me, guys. Hopefully after this video you are now in a better position to decide whether you actually need a student account or whether you can carry on with keeping the account you have. And yeah, I shall see you guys very soon. Mwah.